We play an up-tempo, no-huddle offense. Go, go, go. We snap the ball every 13 seconds. Inside zone, outside zone, counter, draw, simple patterns, dozens of options. Score, score, and score some more. Fans go nuts. A second saved here is an extra yard there. To win, you need speed, precision, execution, and teamwork. In other words, logistics. That's how you win.
Well, it's a Pac-12 game of the year. Despite two Trojans losses, Deion Jordan and the Ducks go after Matt Barkley, who torched him last year. How good is Oregon's D away from Autzen? The Trojans have looked vulnerable on D. Can their front limit Kenyon Barner and rattle Marcus Mariota, the Ducks rookie, in a big road test? Chip Kelly, whose offenses have ripped up SC lately, wary of the Trojans. Here he is with Jim Wojciechowski.
Chip, your team's undefeated. You have the nation's most prolific offense, and your defense is much improved. But what don't you know about your team?
I think I know a lot about our team. It's just I don't think we've had to show everything that we know. I think we got a group of kids that love playing football and love competing in football and are really excited about the challenge today.
We talk about players in pressure moments like this, a big game. But what is it going to be like for you in the hours leading up to kickoff?
We'll just watch we're used to this. We always have to play late, so we'll watch all the other games on TV and then get ready to go. We keep the same schedule.
All right. Thank you. Chris?
Kelly always exudes confidence. He would have you believe, Kirk, every game's the same.
Yeah.
The situation's not different for Marcus Mariota. We're waiting for the guy to look like a freshman. Is tonight perhaps tonight?
Well, tonight he's either going to look like a freshman or he's about to show how good he really is. And I think it happens to be the latter. The thing about SC and trying to be able to pull off this upset, they have to quit being their worst enemy. They lead the nation with penalties. Last week they had 13 penalties. They had 5 turnovers against Arizona. If they don't turn the ball over and they don't have those mental mistakes, we know Matt Barkley can score on this Oregon defense. Yes. So if they avoid mistakes, SC at home was still a shot to get to Pasadena. Don't count the Trojans out of this game.
Over the last 4 regular season years, Oregon has lost 7 times, 2 times to USC. That means they know they can beat them. So Desmond.
That's okay. You call me Dennis.
So when they score, Oregon will score.
Right.
Don't panic.
Yeah.
Just try to score.
I can accept. You called me Dennis before. I think that USC, they need to be balanced on offense. Last week against Arizona, they had 493 yards passing with only 125 rushing. They have to rush the ball against Oregon because you want to keep that clock moving. You want to keep Oregon's offense on the field. On the sideline and keep your offense on the field. So it's imperative to me that they keep the clock running. Got to get a running game. Got to get Silas Red going to try to counter that passing attack that they have.
Yeah. Oregon fans look away. These are the folks from Duck Dynasty. That guy there, Phil Robertson, Louisiana Tech starting quarterback back in the day, ahead of Terry Bradshaw.
Holy mackerel.
Tyler, you came in early this week to go out there with the boys, didn't you?
Well, certainly Alabama and the Ducks have done their part. This game still has huge impact, but USC, if they lose a third conference game, this is their only crack at Oregon, perhaps. It's not going to be a rematch in the Pac-12 championship game because they've already got a couple of losses, including one to Arizona when many of the flaws were exposed once again. So the Trojans, like LSU, an underdog tonight on their home field against the Ducks, who roll in with all the components clicking in a team that really hasn't been tested the way SC was able to test them last year. The playmakers, they're really rested. Guys like DeAnthony Thomas, very few touches. He's avoided the big hits, Kirk.
And everybody looks at him as a running back today. Look for him more out at receiver. He'll free up Kenyon Barner to get his touches in the backfield. Barner and Dat on the field together is something USC's got to be prepared to defend.
It was Barner, not James, that really torched the Trojans defense last year. First-year starter Marcus Mariota has looked so comfortable, so poised. But as Kirk said earlier, perhaps tonight is the night when he either looks like a freshman for the first time or really in a showcase game shows the entire world how good he is. Jim Wojciechowski joins us from just outside the LA Coliseum, a chance to spend time with that poised Hawaiian quarterback this week.
Chris, Mariota has come such a long way. Think about it. Only a couple years ago, he was such an unknown that a TV announcer in Hawaii, which is where Marcus is from, referred to him during a high school broadcast as Marcus Margarita. Now almost everyone knows his name, and that's just the way he planned it.
He has that Hawaiian cool kind of know-where-he's kind of attitude.
Aloha means touchdown. The flying Hawaiian, he is gone. calm. Like, I've never seen Marcus get rattled ever.
Great patience and poise. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. This kid's going to be really, really good.
Some things you can't make up, like Oregon quarterback Marcus Mariota. For starters, he's always been the man with a plan, or in his case, fourth grader with a plan.
He had a writing assignment, and he had written that his goals were, number one, he was going to go to St. Louis school. He was going to play football. He was going to go to USC. He was going to play in the NFL, and he was going to marry a soccer girl.
To just, strive for the stars, and you could always dream big.
The dream almost didn't happen. He was a bench warmer until his senior season at Honolulu's St. Louis High. It wasn't USC, but Oregon's Chip Kelly called with a scholarship offer before Mariota ever started a game.
At first, I was silent, and he was like, hello, and when he offered me, I was like, are you sure? You sure you want to give me a shot? I haven't even played yet.
But we were sure. We were around him, and he's what we want. He's everything you want from on the field aspect to an off the field aspect. He's what we want an Oregon football player to be like.
I used to live with Marcus last year, and I'd wake up at like 5 in the morning. This guy'd be up studying his playbook, light on in his room watching film. I mean, even though he knew he was going to redshirt.
The hard work paid off. After nearly an 8-month competition, Mariota was called into Kelly's office. The Ducks had a new starting quarterback.
After he named me the starter, he asked me, did you sleep last night? I was kind of, no, not really. And he goes, okay, good, because I was just making sure if you had a pulse or not.
Over the middle. Touchdown. Wow, what a throw. Touchdown, Oregon. Good decision by Mariota.
He's got that poise, that cool and calm collectedness to him that you really can't teach. It kind of comes with the person.
Actually, Mariota isn't cool and calm all the time.
Stiff arms, one would-be tackler, and then takes a hit into the bench.
It just so happened during that play that, they said a few words, and they said a few words to some of my teammates, and I felt that I needed to say something. That's just kind of how I've raised, how, I think a lot of the way kids act is, you mess with one, you mess with all.
Mariota looks after his team and also his dreams. He has never forgotten that paper from 4th grade.
It's pretty amazing. Almost kind of eerie the way it all turned out. It's been a really amazing journey, and it's nice to see it all come together for him.
She always continues to laugh at it, but every now and then she'll bring it up and say, you've gotten this far, and just continue on your goals.
That paper is socked away in a baby book in storage, but if Marcus could add one thing to that goal list, it would be to race arguably the fastest man in college football, teammate DeAnthony Thomas. Now, Desmond, maybe in his prime, could beat DeAnthony, but the Oregon players say that while Marcus is fast, he's not DeAnthony Thomas fast. Chris?
I dispute that Desmond claim. We'll get his thoughts in a second. Fast describes the starts for Oregon. They are just pummeling the Pac-12. 35-7, 43-7, 56-0. Those are halftime scores. Halftime scores. They have more points in the first half this year than 93 FBS teams have all season. And then there's SC. We know about the penalties and the turnovers, but that's just the beginning of the problems. Arizona had a 26-zip run on SC's defense. There's been third down inefficiency for Barkley and company in the losses. Clock management questions. They are wounded for sure, but an upset win tonight would answer a lot of questions the Trojans have been asked lately.
A lot was placed on our shoulders early on, and whether we were deserving of that, I'll never know.
We're running out of ideas. The penalties have been an issue for us all year, and a lot of times you have in the first couple of games, and you see your team grow out of it.
If we take away the personal fouls, the game's a lot different from the defensive standpoint. We're stopping them on third downs, and then we get a personal foul, and then that gives them a first down.
But we're in a situation where it could be 3rd and 1, get a penalty, and now it's 3rd and 16. Those type of penalties, we don't need.
Don't be selfish. It's a selfish move to hit someone after the whistle or to commit a head-to-head contact or whatever those penalties were. Just be thinking of the team and putting the team first.
Now, if you're really dominant, you can afford a lot of flags. Oregon's a heavily penalized team. Pac-12 officials love to throw penalty flags. But SC with the turnovers, this is not what they had in mind, as it says. Against teams with a winning record, they're 0-2. But You know Chip Kelly's wearer. You know that his offense has had great success against SC, but he is very concerned about what might happen with the Trojans having a chance to turn their season around tonight.
Well, I think this game is more about the Ducks, and I think the Ducks can make a statement. I think this is the opportunity that they've been looking for that statement game. Of course, they've beaten teams into submission, but they haven't gotten the respect that they think they deserve. Now they're getting to the meat of the schedule. You heard Brad Edwards talk about it earlier. The computers don't love them, but now it can possibly fall in love with them based on their opponents, USC, Stanford, Oregon State. So I think tonight, Chip Kelly knows they need to go out there and make a statement tonight to influence the voters and the computers.
Yeah, you wonder if late in that game, if they start to maybe get a lead, if that starts to maybe weigh in the mind of Chip Kelly. I really look at Marcus Mariota and what he's been able to accomplish, and you forget what he's doing with this offense. This is an offense that executes at a tempo that very few in the whole country, puts a lot on a first-year starting quarterback, and it's really still about the numbers. If there's 6 in the box, and if you include the running back there, you got 7 in the box. This is where Oregon's going to try to run the football to their advantage. Arizona State brought a corner blitz. He's in a little bit too late, and they're going to crease you. If you make one mental mistake and your gap integrity, Kenyon Barner's going to take it to the house, or Mariota could take it to the house. Now you're concerned about the running game. We're going to overload the box. We're going to put 7 inside there. We don't want Mariota or Barner to hit us for a big one. The problem there is it's a numbers game. Now you're one-on-one on the perimeter. Now you're going to look to Marcus Mariota, and this is where he really has shown his growth as a quarterback. A little pump screen there, and then he gets Addison there, backside, one-on-one, and then they attack you. Now, all this talk about Oregon's attacked in the first half, Chris just gave you those numbers. The strength of Oregon is what they do in the second half. This will be the first game all year. You see the tempo and the rate in which they play start to have effect on SC in the second half. And that's where the mental mistakes will seep in for USC's defense. Oregon wins, and they pull away big in the second half.
If I was coaching against Oregon, I'd go for it. Every time I got in a 4-down territory, red zone, I'd go for touchdown.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't even worry about field goals, because field goals are not going to beat Oregon. And if I didn't make the touchdown, at least leave them with a lot of field to go to. Right. Maybe a slow down. I don't know, but Oregon's big.
Both teams go for it a lot on fourth down, so forget the field goals. You know, Kadeem Carey, the Arizona back who ripped through the Trojans, said he really saw the defense getting tired in the second half. If they don't discover some stamina.
Right, and tonight, they don't have the depth. Remember, 75 scholarships for this year, next year, and the year after. That's where it could really affect them in the second half defensively.
You know, if the Trojans do lose tonight, it means that the Arizona-UCLA winner controls its destiny in the Pac-12 South. This is a big deal for UCLA. Nobody in that team's ever been part of a team that has more than 6 regular season wins.
More athletic and more power up front. I think he does that tonight with this defense.
And we'll see how USC is able to recover after their loss last week to Arizona. Have to keep in mind they're going to have to play smart. No more turnovers, not as many penalties.
That's the key. Penalties, discipline. You got to play discipline against the Oregon Ducks. You can get away with it against other teams, but not Oregon. Too much talent. Oregon wins this one big. I like USC. No undisciplined play. I think the experienced Matt Barkley, they're going to make a statement here tonight. I like USC.
Send it out to the Coliseum right now. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Julie Alexandria on the call. Guys.
The USC Trojans take the field here in Los Angeles, and they're ready to take on the 4th-ranked team in the nation. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my partner, Charles Davis, and welcome to L.A., where, after being ranked number 1 during the preseason, the Trojans have fallen short on expectations, losing at Stanford and last week against Arizona. So, CD, here's their opportunity to win a big game.
They can still win the Pac-12 title. Obviously, it starts tonight against the best team they've played so far, against their nemesis, the team that's won 3 straight Pac-12 championships, and that's Oregon. They beat Oregon at Oregon last year, and most of the same playmakers are still in place for USC. Matt Barkley's still here. Marquise Lee's still here. Robert Woods is still here. Can USC make the winning plays? Offense, defense? We'll find that out this evening.
Meanwhile, Chip Kelly told us that this USC team is the most talented team that they faced this season. So that begs the question, if USC can hang with them and get deep into the 4th quarter, how will the Ducks respond?
Similar to a boxing match. You want to take him deep into the rounds and see what he has, because Oregon is used to blowing people out. They would love to continue that formula. But if they get to the 4th quarter, USC wants to try and rattle their young quarterback, their freshman sensation, Marcus Mariota, who's played so well Can he handle things in the Coliseum late in the fourth quarter with the game on the line? USC wants to test that theory.
Sellout crowd in attendance, folks. Over 93,000 ready to watch a big one. Oregon ranked 4th, taking on Matt Barkley and the Trojans. And we'll have it for you coming up from the City of Angels.
Now, what did you stress to these guys before they took the field? Was there a message that you really want them to remember in this game?
Yeah, play with great composure. Don't let the energy get to you. Make really good decisions. Come back to the sideline and do it again and again and again. It's a heavyweight championship fight today.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you.